Hello and welcome back to another tactical clinic. Today we are looking at the Viking 442, which was sent in on Reddit by Viking Hammer. Now, I have always loved the 442. I don't know if it's because when growing up 442 was the main formation that I saw, but throughout Football Manager I usually try and implement a 442. So we'll get stuck right into the tactic. So it's a positive mentality. In possession, we're going to be playing fairly wide, playing down both the left and right hand side. The passing is going to be slightly more direct and at a higher tempo with hitting early crosses into the box. So it's a very wing focused tactic, getting the ball out to the flanks as quickly as possible for them to ping it into the box. And because, as you can see, we're testing this with Haaland should score a bucket load from crosses into the box. So in the transition, we're going to regroup, so we're not going to be pressing constantly, but we will be countering again with the direct passing, the early crossing, and the high tempo. We will be countering at pace, and this should work really well. Goalkeeper is going to distribute it quickly and take long kicks. So again, just kicking the ball long, getting it up to the front as quickly as possible. Now out of possession, although we are not counter pressing, we are using a high press and a standard line of engagement. We're going to trigger that press slightly more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and we're going to ask the defensive line to step up more. So for this tactic test, we are using Manchester City, who of course are expected to finish first in the Premier League. We're also testing this out with AFC Wimbledon, who are predicted to finish fifth in League Two, and Nice in League One, who are predicted to finish in sixth place. So what we'll do now is we will just fast forward to the end of the season and just see how each of these clubs gets on with the Viking 442. We are back at the end of the season on the 30th of June 2023, and as you can see, the Flying Scotsman has been sacked, having used the Viking 442. So we'll take a look here, and unfortunately, it looks like all three of them have been sacked. So I'm not actually sure which one this is. We will take a look at their job history, see who it is. So this is the one, the Man City Flying Scotsman. So we will just take a look, see when they were sacked. So they were sacked on the 29th of May. So they got to the end of the season. So we can take a look at the full schedule, see how they got on. Move back to last season. So it started off fairly well. A convincing 5-1 win in the FA Community Shield, which I think when we saw it there was the only trophy won by the Flying Scotsman. Then beat Newcastle 7-2, beat Bournemouth 5-1, beat Arsenal 4-2, 3-3 draw with Palace and a 5-0 win at Brentford before losing the first game 4-1 to Man United. So it doesn't look like it was a terrible start, so we'll just kind of scroll down and see where it all goes wrong. So after the Man United defeat, you can see Champions League group we had Monaco, Dortmund and Atletico Madrid. Very, very tough group. But it does look like we might have scraped through. We'll take a look at that in a wee second. So overall, it is a bit patchy. Knocked out in the EFL Cup quarter-finals and penalties by Leeds. Then went on another decent run here before losing 4-0 to Arsenal. Yet we did get through the Champions League group stages, beating Porto 7-1 in the first leg before losing 3-0 away in Portugal for the second leg. Then knocked out Liverpool in the FA Cup quarter-finals, and then this is where we got knocked out in the Champions League. We lost 5-4 on aggregate to AC Milan. That is a hard one to take. We got our own back on Leeds United, beating them 1-0 in the FA Cup semi-final. So if we scroll down, how did they do in the FA Cup semi-final? They won 1-0, however, this was on the 3rd of June, so this was a couple of days after we were sacked. So we were sacked after losing 3-1 to Brentford on the final day. However, where did we finish? We finished second. So the Flying Scotsman won the FA Community Shield, got to the FA Cup final but was not allowed to play that, and finished second to Liverpool in the Premier League only on goal difference. However, I just think just winning the Community Shield is what has done them there. We've came back a little bit too late, so we can't see the stats on this one, but we can take a look at the award winners, and that'll kind of give us some sort of indication. So Golden Glove, not there, so defensively not great. Footballer of the Year, Haaland scored 27 goals, got 12 assists in 33 Premier League appearances. Great season for him. Goal this season, he didn't get any of these. Players Player of the Year, again, Erling Haaland. Whoops, clicked off that incorrectly. Players Team of the Year, only Haaland is in the Team of the Year. Isak up front alongside him, and then 8 Liverpool players in the middle of the park. Young Player of the Year, Erling Haaland, and he will be top goal scorer, I'm assuming. No, he wasn't. He was not. He was second to Alexander Isak, who got an amazing 32 goals in 34 appearances. So there we have it. The Flying Scotsman at Manchester City has been sacked with just one trophy in the bag. We'll now go and take a look and see how the others got on and see which Flying Scotsman. This is AFC Wimbledon, sacked with the team in 20th place. That is not great at all. So the Flying Scotsman was sacked on the 29th of October. That is horrific. So let's just scroll up to the top and see how it got on. So again, a reasonable start, picking up 3 wins in the league in a row before losing to Mansfield. They put out Ipswich in the first round of the Cup, they put out Colchester, and then again it fell apart. It completely fell apart from September onwards, so he was sacked at the end of October. So yeah, look at this. From the 3rd of September, they were just getting battered, including a 7-2 loss to the West Ham under 21s. And then from the new manager coming in, results did improve, as you can see. And I wonder where the new manager actually had them finish. Let's take a look. The new manager managed to take them up to 8th place, so I will not see it as the season beginning. But yeah, the manager that came in took them up to 8th place, so probably a good switch there. And last but not least, we will take a look at the Nice manager, see when they were sacked. They were sacked, doesn't tell you what position he was sacked in, so I'm assuming that he made it to the end of the season. They do not have a manager, so that indicates to me that they've made it to the end of the season. The 3rd of June, so they did. They made it to the end of the season, so it must have been pretty disastrous at the end of the season. Look at the amount of friendlies they played, though. Let's jump down. Look at the amount of friendlies they've played here. Getting absolutely battered in friendlies before then going on a reasonable run where they were undefeated until the 18th of September. They lost to Angers. So they got to the Europa Conference League group stages, perfect. Some notable victories here, beating Marseille in the league, beating Lille, beating Monaco, really good. And then here it kind of falls off a wee bit. I think the back-to-back losses, including 2 losses to Hearts, that's pretty poor, I will be honest, as a Scotsman. No disrespect to Hearts, but that is a pretty poor double-header against Hearts. Again, results are a bit of a mixed bag here. So let's just look at the Europa Conference League. So a draw, a win, a loss, draw. Might not be enough to go through, we'll see shortly. So put through to the 10th round at least of the Coupe de France. 11th round, again another wee poor run here. Quarterfinals of Coupe de France put Le Havre. Before in the semi-finals putting Saint Etienne out 2-1. So we have made it to the Coupe de France final. Now, it looks like, because he was sacked on the 3rd of June, it looks like he's actually got the chance to play the cup final, unlike the Manchester City job. Then beat Paris Saint-Germain 4-3 here. Delort with a double, Thuram and Talbi with the goals in a 4-3 victory. However, a couple of weeks later, in the cup final, PSG battered us 5-0. So, nope, he did not get to complete that. However, he did get to finish the season as he was sacked after the final whistle, I'm assuming, of the Lyon game. So take a look at the league table, and he finished in 10th place, which is not great. But look how tight that is. 3 points off 4th. and only was that 7 points off Champions League football. That's actually not too bad. However, I think just because it did end up being 10th place, that's why they were down there. So, any awards? Andy Delort, Best African Player of the Season. As you can see, 24 goals in 38 appearances. That's not too bad for a team finishing down in 10th. Best Player, Kylian Mbappe, no surprise there. Leo Messi, Foreign Player. We're not going to get Manager of the Season. Most assists, Budoy. Apologies if I've pronounced that wrong. 13 assists across the season. Very, very good. Most Promising Player, Toulouse Player. Referee of the Season, never seen that. Revelation of the Season, another Toulouse player. Stars Team of the Season, so I'm just assuming Team of the Season. PSG players plus Golovin. That's it. And top goal scorer, looks like Delort just missed out on being in the top three there. And I don't know what the difference. I don't know who votes for which. Who votes for the 11 of the season? Who votes for the Stars Team of the Season? But unfortunately, there you have it. The Viking 4-4-2 has led to 3 managerial sackings across the season. 2 of them did get to the end of the season. However, overall, it does not look like this has been a successful tactic for Football Manager 23. Apologies to the member of Reddit who sent it in. However, if this works for you, that's the main thing. As long as you have a tactic that works for yourself and works in your game, that's all that matters. If you've enjoyed this content, please, as always, leave a like, leave a comment, and please, if you haven't already, please subscribe as we will be ramping up the content over the next couple of weeks and months. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the Flying Scotsman FM, and I will see you next time.